Well, this week at the Wyndham Championship, there are several players who are trying to earn a spot on their respective teams. And with more on that, we say hello to Todd Lewis.
Gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Wyndham Championship. And as you mentioned, yes, the FedEx Cup playoffs are pretty much on the frontal lobe of most of the players in the field, but there is Ryder Cup implications for some of the players in the field. On the European side, the Højgaard twins are in the field along with Robert McIntyre, but the European Ryder Cup captain, Luke Donald, is not in the field. Conversely, the U.S. Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley, is playing here at the Wyndham Championship, and there are several players that are close to automatically qualifying for that team that are in the field. And then there are other players who have plenty of Ryder Cup experience who are looking to kick off here at the Wyndham Championship a run at being on Keegan's team.
I would say I'm definitely outside of consideration right now. There's still time to try and plead my case, but going back to executing, I need to go play some good golf, and I need a really good stretch these next few weeks. The team will be fine with or without me, but I haven't quite done much of anything to say I should be there. But it would be fun to go on a little run and see if that maybe sparks anyone's interest, but if we can't, hey, it's part of it. You don't make all of them, but they're fun to be a part of, and we'll see if we can get ourselves a shot at it.
If the Ryder Cup was today, I'd tell Keegan, make sure you don't pick me, but it's not done. The decision's not made today. Why not, make a run in the playoffs? And that's the goal, the ultimate goal. But at the moment, one foot in front of the other, as the cliche goes, one shot at a time, and that's all I can do over the next few weeks is try to play as good a golf as I can, and we'll see where the chips fall.
I haven't played as well as I would have liked the last 2-3 months. So, I've had some injuries, little stuff, and just, haven't been, myself, I feel like. I haven't hit the ball as well as I would like. So I kind of wasted my opportunities with some majors and kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit with that. So, I've got 4 more events to earn my spot. I would say, if I'm looking at it today, I don't think I've done enough. So, this is 4 more opportunities to go show what I got.
I think every, at least American golfer, dreams of being on the Ryder Cup team and representing the United States. Even as a kid, just growing up watching all those team events. President's Cup and the Ryder Cup. They're very meaningful. It's an honor to be on those teams. It means you're one of the best players really in the whole world. And so, I think I just got to continue to do the right things. I can't get too caught up in what exactly all of it means. But I am paired with Keegan. We just got our tee times paired with Keegan and Andrew Novak this week. So hopefully we'll get a lot of good talks in, and hopefully all of us will play pretty well. I think all of us are kind of on that bubble of trying to at least get in that top 6 and lock up our spot. So it's going to be really competitive this week. I think that's just the best way to do it. Continue to grind against each other, play really well, and see who can get those automatic bids.
And to accentuate what Ben is talking about there, Ben Griffin and Andrew Novak will be playing alongside Keegan Bradley both Thursday and Friday here at the Wyndham Championship. And I can tell you, if they play well in front of the U.S. Ryder Cup captain, that's going to show Keegan Bradley a lot that they can handle the pressure of Beth Page. Now, talking to Keegan and some of his vice captains over the last few weeks, there are some considerations that they are looking for in regards to players. Number one, form. You got to have proper form heading into the Ryder Cup. Secondly, how does their game, a player's game, suit up at Beth Page Black? And more importantly, I think the biggest thing is how does a player fit in regards to the team culture? That is very important in selecting who is going to be on that team. And one person that might be on that team as a player is Keegan Bradley himself, who is coming off a phenomenal year. It's hard to argue that he is not one of the top 12 American players on the planet right now. I can tell you that there have been discussions in regards to Keegan Bradley with his vice captains being on the team. And if he is a playing captain, what they are trying to figure out to do, there is no firm plan in place because he hasn't put himself on the team yet or qualified for the team yet. As Eamon mentioned, the automatic qualifiers will be after the BMW Championship, and then 6 captains picks by Keegan Bradley. That'll come the Wednesday after the Tour Championship. And guys, if he doesn't automatically qualify, it'll be interesting to see if Keegan Bradley picks himself as a playing captain on that Wednesday.
It definitely will. Todd Lewis with all the storylines in Greensboro, these bubbles, the pressure, Keegan, will he or won't he? Is it decided already? You think he's going to play?
I do think he's going to play, and I think you can make a valid case that he's on that team. You know, they have an apparatus around them in terms of John Wood as a team manager, and I would expect if he is going to be on that team, that he will only play in the afternoon sessions. You can make all of the decisions through the course of the day. You don't want to be out there in the morning as captain when there are decisions to be made for the afternoon sessions.
See, I don't think he should make any decisions. No decisions. You play, you play. Don't captain and then kind of I'm going to half play.
I don't see him relinquishing the captaincy. But it does raise this interesting question about, are we going to get the change that we were promised? Because Keegan Bradley was the change agent. It was the end of the old guard. It was a buddy system was put to rest. And we just heard Todd Lewis say there that part of the considerations, as they are every year, would be the culture of the team and who fits well with that. Every captain comes out and tells you they want the 12 best players. It's a lie. It's never been true. They want the 12 best players that everyone's willing to tolerate in the team room. And that's a lesson the Americans have learned in a pretty hard way over the last sort of 10, 15 years. It's why they had a task force. It's why the players took control of the system. And we are going to see some changes this year, more so, I think, on the American side. If you look at the European guys who were in Rome playing for Luke Donald 2 years ago, almost every one of them is in the mix again. You talk about Rory and Rahm and Hovland and Oberg and
Justin Rose,
Tommy Fleetwood. The only one who's sort of borderline, really, at the moment is Nikolai Højgaard, and his identical twin brother is sort of in the mix as well. But you look on the American side, and the only guys who are pretty much locks who were there last time around are Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas. I would argue everyone else in poor form. Just look at the list of names who were there 2 years ago. Cantley, Homa, Spieth, Koepka, Burns, Fowler, Harman, Clark. It's a very spotty record of form for those guys in there. And there are guys who are not part of the buddy system you can make a case for, like a Ben Griffin, a Maverick McNeely, Chris Gotterup.
Andrew Novak.
There are a lot of questions to be answered on the US side. Whether or not Keegan's playing might not actually be the most revealing one of all.
Well, it's funny that Keegan was the guy who was on the outside in 2023. He was not in the buddy system. He was left out of the dance. He had that tough phone call from Zach Johnson that he was not playing. It was really the hub and the center and the heart of that whole Netflix series. And now he holds the keys to decide who will be in, who will be out. Sam Burns, well down the list, 16th. Is he going to be? I mean, he's Scotty Scheffler's best friend. They played well together in the President's Cup. Should they be together? Is that a slam dunk? Maverick McNeely's never been on a team. He's higher on the list. Ben Griffin's never been on a team. Do you take him or do you go with a Jordan Spieth? Do you reach way down? Tony Finau very honestly saying right now you can't take me, even though he has Ryder Cup experience. But you're right. It's not going to be the top 12. We hardly ever see it just go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I don't think we will either this year.
No, and it does really go to the heart of whether or not America is still crowdsourcing the captaincy here. Because what we've seen in the past is we saw Zach Johnson was explicitly clear about it. He let the guys who were automatic qualifiers have a huge say in who else made the team. And if Scotty Scheffler says, OK, well, I want Sam Burns, who's not playing particularly well, because I'm comfortable with him, or Patrick Cantley, not an automatic qualifier. If Xander says, well, we're a good team, I want that there, is Keegan Bradley going to defer to that? And you can make an argument for Cantley. I mean, look at what he did on that Saturday night match against Rory McIlroy in Rome. You would make an argument, a compelling argument, that he's a guy that you would want there. But why is that decision going to be made? And I think that's where the captain's picks get quite interesting. Is it going to end up looking like the guys who are on the team already are heavily influencing the guys who come after them? Because that's what Zach Johnson allowed to happen. And whether or not Keegan Bradley is going to allow this kind of rolling over of a kind of a soft buddy system remains to be seen.
And that's why I feel like there needs to be a decision pretty soon whether Keegan's going to do this or not. And even if publicly we don't know if he's going to play or not, I would hope that behind the scenes, even despite what Todd told us, that they have decided Keegan's going to play.
But you don't think he can do both? You don't think he can play and make decisions?
I don't think he can
He's got a pretty good team of guys around him.
But well, then let them do it. I don't think he can do either to the utmost of his ability. I think he'll be a lesser player if he's got to do captain duties. I think he'll be a lesser captain if he has to worry about trying to take down Robert McIntyre in singles. I just think that it should be streamlined. Guys, I'm going to play. I think he'd be in a different headspace. Don't you at home? He'd be in a different headspace as a player than he would be as a captain. He'd be in a different mindset as a player as opposed to being a captain. A captain has to be clinical, objective. Let the player have the passion. The captain can't let the passion overwhelm common sense.
I disagree with that. I think it's possible that he could actually do both. Now, whether or not he performs isn't entirely determined by whether or not his attention is split on a given week. He may take both jobs and just perform poorly as a player, or the decision-making may fall on the wrong side of the chips for him as the captain. I don't think it's inherently a wrong decision for him to make. And if he limits himself to playing in afternoon sessions on Friday, Saturday, well, then I think he's got a certain clarity there. If he's in the morning, he's going to be starting to fret about how the other matches are going, how that impacts the decisions to be made for an afternoon session. Singles, it's all out there. So I think there's a narrow window where actually playing could directly interfere with the immediacy of the decisions that a captain has to make. I don't think it's an entirely wrong thing. And as a European, I kind of encourage this, because the more your captain's distracted, the better.
Well, win or lose a play or captain, he's going to need like an hour or maybe a month-long nap after this Ryder Cup is over on Long Island.
Yeah, you ain't getting any sleep at Bethpage, that's for sure.